The distance between us. It was a quiet autumn morning when Clara, a woman in her late 30s, woke up with a start. Her phone was ringing loud and sharp. She tried to ignore it, hiding under her blanket. But something felt wrong. The ringing stopped for a second. Then it started again. She reached out with one hand, eyes still closed. In the process, she knocked over a glass of water, which broke on the floor. The sound brought her fully awake. She picked up the phone and answered. A man's voice came through, serious and worried. It was her father. "Clara," he said, "it's your mother. She's in the hospital. She had a stroke." Clara sat up, heart racing. She asked, "Is she awake? Can she speak?" Her father replied, "No, she's unconscious. But you must come. Quickly." Clara said nothing at first. She looked around the messy room where she had been staying for the last few weeks. She had lost her job, her boyfriend, and now maybe her mother. She whispered to herself, "This can't be happening. Not now." A few hours later, Clara was on a train, traveling from the city of Belmont to her parents' small hometown of Elmswood. The train moved fast, but not fast enough for her. Every minute felt too long. Sitting next to her was an older woman with kind eyes. She noticed Clara's pale face and offered her a scarf. "You look cold," the woman said. "Take this." Clara smiled politely. "Thank you." They sat in silence for a few minutes. Then the woman asked softly, "Are you going to visit someone?" Clara nodded. "Yes. My mother. She's very sick." The woman placed a hand over Clara's. "I hope she gets better. Mothers are important." Clara felt tears building up. She looked out the window and tried to stay calm. She said, "She is strong. She will be okay." But deep inside, she wasn't so sure. Her thoughts drifted to her past. Clara had left Elmswood many years ago. She wanted to be independent, to follow her dreams. Her mother supported her, but her father never understood her choices. For a long time, Clara didn't speak much with him. They were different. He liked quiet mornings and simple things. Clara liked cities, movement, art, and change. When they talked, their words often felt sharp. Now, after years of silence, he had called her. She asked herself, "Why didn't I visit more? Why did I wait for something bad to happen?" She closed her eyes and remembered her mother's voice from her childhood. "Wake up, sleepy girl. You'll be late for school." That memory came back suddenly, as if it had just happened. She opened her eyes again. "I promise," she whispered, "I won't be late this time." The train arrived at the station. Clara saw her Aunt Rosa waiting, waving her arms. They hugged tightly. "Is she still there?" Clara asked. "Yes," said Rosa. "She's alive, but the doctors don't know what will happen." They got in Rosa's car and started the long drive to the hospital. Clara watched the trees pass by. Everything looked the same, but she felt different, like a stranger in her own story. Her aunt tried to speak positively. "She's a fighter. Your mother always has been." Clara stayed quiet. Then she said, "And what about my father?" "He's waiting at the hospital. He hasn't left her side." Clara nodded. She imagined her father sitting beside her mother, holding her hand, silent. That image touched her more than she expected. When they arrived, The hospital smelled of disinfectant and coffee. Clara walked down the hall with her aunt. Her heart beat faster. Her hands were cold. They entered the room. There her mother lay, eyes closed, machines around her. Her skin was pale but peaceful. Her father sat next to the bed. He looked older, tired. He stood when he saw Clara, unsure of what to say. Clara said nothing either. Instead, she walked to her mother's side and took her hand. "She's still warm," she whispered. Her father finally spoke. "She would be happy you're here." Clara looked at him. After all the time, it felt strange, but also right. He continued, "I didn't know who else to call. I couldn't face this alone." She nodded. "You did the right thing." Then he asked, "Do you think she hears us?" Clara answered softly, "Yes, she does." They both stayed quiet for a long time. That night, Clara stayed at her parents' house. Her old room was full of dust and memories. She found a box under the bed. Inside were letters, old photographs, and small things her mother had saved. She picked up one letter. It was from her mother. The envelope said, "For when you return." With shaking hands, she opened it. "My dear Clara, if you are reading this, it means something brought you home. I hope it was love, not pain. I want you to know that I never stop thinking of you. No matter where you go, no matter how far, you are always part of me. Love, Mom." Clara cried. She whispered, "I should have come sooner. I'm sorry." The next morning, her father knocked on the door. He asked, "Can we talk?" Clara sat up. "Yes," she said. They sat at the kitchen table. Her father held a small box. Inside was a necklace. "She wanted you to have this," he said. "It was hers from when she was your age." Clara touched it gently. "Thank you." Her father looked at her with sad eyes. "You know," he said, "I never wanted you to leave angry. I just didn't understand you." "I know," she replied, "and I didn't try to help you understand." They looked at each other, finally seeing the pain both carried. "I don't want to be strangers anymore," Clara said. He nodded. "We won't be." Later that day, back at the hospital, the doctor entered the room. His face was calm but serious. Clara asked, "Will she wake up?" The doctor paused before answering. "We don't know. Her condition is stable but critical. The next 48 hours are important." "Is there anything we can do?" her father asked. "Yes," the doctor replied. "Stay close. Talk to her. Let her hear your voices." So they stayed. Hour after hour, day turning to night, they sat beside her bed. Clara read her mother's favorite poems aloud. She played soft music from her phone. Her father talked about the garden, the dog, the neighbors' simple things, everyday things. At one moment, Clara looked at her mother and said, "Mom, I'm here now. I'm not leaving again. I will stay with you." Then she asked gently, "Can you hear me?" She waited. No answer. No movement. Only the sound of the machines. But a nurse came in later and said, "Sometimes the body is still, but the heart listens. Keep speaking." On the third day, as sunlight touched the edge of the hospital window, Clara was sitting alone beside her mother. She held her hand and smiled. "Do you remember the necklace you gave me?" I'm wearing it now. Then, slowly, her mother's fingers moved. Clara froze. Mom? Her mother's eyelids fluttered for just a second. Clara jumped up and called for the nurse. Her voice was shaking. She moved. I saw it. Doctors came in. Everyone moved quickly. The signs were small, but real. Her mother was coming back. Not all stories end with goodbye. Some begin again with forgiveness, with love, with patience. Clara had feared she was too late. But life had given her one more chance. And this time, she was ready to stay.